welcome to the Green Hour, WURD at 96.1 FM and also 900 AM on the weekend, sponsored by Celia. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins. We're here every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. You can also find us online at www.wurdradio.com and in the community. My co-host is Health Advocate Bill Morgan. Bill, you there?
You got it, buddy.
And each week we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. On the Green Hour, we will focus on the environment as the key part of our social integrity. And on the Green Hour, we will focus on how the people and the planet are one. Without further ado, welcome, family. Hey. Mike Moore in the house.
Yes, sir.
Mike Moore.
Big boy.
And Bill 1L Morgan. How you doing there, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Hey, Mike, we got a birthday in the house. That's Big B's birthday. Big B, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man.
Oh,
Thank you there for a young buddy, man.
How young are you?
I can't tell nobody. Can you believe I'm 79, man?
You 39?
Oh, I wish. 79 years young, brother.
Oh, man, 79 years old.
I'm almost as young as Big Mike now. Wow!
He's younger than Big Mike now. Hey, man, and you know what? There's a major shout here, man. You are, on no medication, are you? No medication.
All I'm doing is sucking crystal geyser water down my face.
And green drinks.
And my green drink.
Well,
yeah,
man,
buddy.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You know what? You are to be celebrated today. This is our Testimony Sunday. I can't think of a better time to say you are the #1 testimony, bro.
That's what's up, man.
I always say, we talked about last week the Blue Zone. Do you remember we had Charlie Harmon and John Gross and Flip was on? This is something to be celebrated right here. You held that out all last week. And
I can't tell you something. I was sitting over here, I was chomping in the bed. Well, I'm going to say, y'all just young boys.
I just, what did you say? I got certified yesterday?
No.
What did you say?
No.
What do you mean?
Yesterday was my reveal day,
Your
man.
reveal day.
Yesterday was my reveal day.
Reveal day.
Hey, here's my calculation, right? From conception to reveal. Shut the front door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Earth Day. That's right.
This is my Earth Day. See?
That's right.
Man, I know I think a lot. I do things a little strange, but that's how it hits me, man. To me, that's a glorious thing because Daddy said, shut up. Get up and go out and have somebody do that.
You are to be celebrated. So many people that I run into, Big B, that follow the show and, come in for assessments and things.
Yes.
You all need to be celebrated because you're focused on your health. You know that, with this pandemic still rising, we're going to talk about some of the things that are going on around the world.
Yes.
You got to keep your immune system. That's it. And we had Charlie on last week, 90 years old, and John, he's going to be 90 coming up soon, and then we talked about Roscoe Draper, it's 102, part of the men's group, and then there's so many women that have told me, they said, you know what, I don't take no medication, they just doing their thing, keeping yourself in the right point of reference, which means that you're doing something. You're constantly spirit, mind, and body. Do something every one of those three every day. If you do something every day, you can keep this thing going a long time, man.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And I shared with you also that it was my mother's birthday was on the 4th. It was actually the 4th.
The day before, see?
The day before was my mother's birthday, man. I said, you know what, B? There's something else I did like about you, man. So heavenly birthday out to my
mom. That's right, buddy.
Barbara Hopkins.
See, Daddy knew what to do. He sent me right here. Since Mom had taken the journey, we'd sit back and say, look, let him watch over my boy. That's what's up.
Watch over you. That's right. Well, let's get into it, B, because, time moves on us as fast as we start talking. This is Sunday's Testimony Sunday, and we always open this for open lines to the family. Anyone have any questions, concerns, things that you heard in the media you want to bring to our attention? This is your turn to come in and ask questions about maybe what you're going through. You may want to get on the horn, call somebody, say, hey, it's time to call. We talk about the diabetes, the high blood pressure, bone, joint, ligament problem, knee problems, all kinds of stuff is still going on outside of a pandemic. So I want to say, hey, whatever it is, hopefully we can do that today and go into it. Because it's hot outside, Big B.
Ooh, brother, look, I know I was outside. I said, nope, I ain't going out here. I've been a nice little raisin by the time I get it.
I got my lawn work and everything out. First thing this morning, you heard a lawnmower rolling around 6 o'clock this morning.
Well,
like, what is going on? I was out there. Guaranteed I'm not going to be in that sun. So, hey, stay cool. We talked about being cool yesterday. Staying cool.
Yes.
Things that you can eat and herbs and fruits and vegetables and things that you can get. So we had a whole watermelon crew yesterday, man. They started calling me. I got so many texts and emails about where you can get a watermelon. That was amazing.
Wow.
I'll share that with the family again if I have to. But
if you have to.
In Jersey too. This place in Jersey.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
Watermelon with seeds. So before we do that, though, Big B, give them the number they can call in, and we can share. And then after that, we're going to go into the news for today.
You got it, buddy. Yes, everybody, listen, you know where we are, right here, 96.1 FM, 900 AM WRD radio. You can call us if you're in the tri-state area. If you're local, call us right here at 215-634-8065. Again, locally, 215-634-8065. If you're out of that tri-state calling area, you can call us right here at 866-361-0900. Again, that's 866-361-0900. Black Talk Media, WRD Radio, Philadelphia.
All right. And Big Mike Moore, I think you can tell them also we're streaming online. I think some people had questions on if we were still on YouTube. And Big, I think Mike Moore, we are still on YouTube. Is that correct?
It's up because I'm looking at it.
Okay. Okay, good. So we're on YouTube and also WURDradio.com. Okay? All right, family. Big B, let's go into the news today. There's some things. I've dropped a couple of articles on you, and go into some of those articles that we're doing. I think the first one, we want to talk about, I believe the first one, which is a hot topic, is the Delta variant. If you're hearing, we've been watching and we've been talking about, what's going on in India right now, but there is another variant that's actually making a move and it's happening more so over in the UK. But before we go there, maybe it's probably more appropriate to set this up. Give us our COVID numbers today.
All right, you got it, man. Okay, guys, here we go. From our very, 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 very favorite website, that's ncov219.live. That's ncov2019.live. That's where you can get all the information for your best Your best brain health, guys, okay? Here we go. For the total confirmed cases, now remember this is worldwide, 173,922,228. That's totally confirmed cases worldwide. Total critical cases, guys, 87,398. Total deceased, 3,740,886. Okay. Total active cases, 18,251,772. Total recovered. Big Mike. Here we go. I love it. Ow! 155 million, not 408,555, man. Woo! Oh, buddy. That's that mental health thing, brother. That brings us right in.
You know what? This is where people are saying that, they're saying that, we and this is where I want to go into that first article. We got to talk about it.
Yes.
The Delta variant. What's happening. You need to be celebrated, number one, if you are someone that has been diagnosed with COVID-19 and you've come through this and you got better, you came back retested, and you no longer had it. You need to be celebrated and what you've done, because I'm sure that it's a proof positive that your immune system is the key to it all. So, Big B, read that article on the Delta variant, because the Delta variant is making its move right now in the UK.
It begins on with, as vaccines turn pandemic tide, U.S. and European diverge on path forward. Okay, it says the split is particularly stark in Britain, which is facing the spread of a new variant, while America has essentially lifted all rules for people who are vaccinated. Okay, now listen. London, over the Memorial Day weekend, 135,000 people jammed what's called the Oval at the Indianapolis 500. Now, restaurants across the United States have thronged with customers as mask mandates were being discarded. The formula, which gained the Biden administration's blessing, was succinct. In essence, if you are fully vaccinated, you can do as you please. But while the United States appears to be trying to close the curtain on the pandemic across the ocean in Britain and the European Union, it is quite a different story. Now, despite plunging infection levels and a surging vaccine program, parts of Europe are maintaining limits on gatherings, reimposing curbs on travel, and weighing local lockdowns. In Britain, the spread of a new highly contagious variant, first detected in India, has scrambled calculations just as the country plans to return to something more like pre-pandemic level on June the 21st. Parts of Britain have decided to extend lockdown restrictions. This past week, the government tightened its travel rules, including for the fully vaccinated, by removing Portugal, the most popular remaining European tourist destination, from the list of places where Britons could fly without stringent quarantine. Now, and scientists are heatedly debating whether to go ahead with a June 21 reopening, with some saying that the cost of delaying it by a few weeks could pale in comparison to the damage that could be wrought by giving the variant first detected in India, known as Delta, extra opportunity to spread while people are still acquiring immunity. Now, though vaccination got off to a slow start in much of Europe, they have since helped drive down cases, as in the United States. Nevertheless, on the fundamental question of how to approach an end to coronavirus restrictions, America and Europe have diverged. So we're now looking at a variant. There's one last piece here. We're looking at a variant where we have less knowledge about its properties. A researcher from the William Sang Institute said the Delta, it just means that we have less certainty about what things will look like going forward. I think that's very key.
Yeah. You know what? This is something that's starting to get them concerned. Yes. Here's a couple of things that you want to write down. If you got your pens and pads, when you're taking notes and you may be putting things in perspective, the Delta variant was a variant. First of all, they started to change the way they were doing COVID-19, 20, 21, things like that. Instead of naming them, they started to actually go with the, of course, with the alpha, the beta, the delta, going with the Greek Greek interpretation, a Greek alphabet. Thank you. Right. And from that, when they started doing that, now the Delta variant is the one that they're watching, because it's having the most, or they say even more contagious than the current 2019 version that was first released, or the alpha. They call it the alpha, of course. So what they're looking at now, they're saying that this is concerning them, because right now in Europe, they're having more cases of the Delta variant than anywhere else. And it's starting to be a concern, because 90% of the UK people over 65 have already had their vaccination. Okay, so if you're talking about people, whether it's working or not, what's going on with the numbers if everybody's 90% UK has actually been vaccinated? And then that's 70, and that's 65 and older. 76% have had at least one shot. So that's where we're actually moving right now, trying to make sure that people have one shot. But wait a minute, this thing is making a move over there, and they're talking about shutting down their day. They have a day called June 21st.
Right.
Now, June 21st is considered what they call Freedom Day. And Freedom Day represents the day when they just, we're back to normal. We're back.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. We're back. But now they're saying, wait a minute, we're going to have to pump the brakes here, y'all, because now it looks like our rates, everything is going up. They shut the borders for the matter of fact, the borders for the other countries surrounding them have already shut theirs coming into. They stopped all Britain movement into their country. That includes Germany, France, and Austria. So now what they're looking at, they're saying, well, wait a minute, we better really look at this, because now that's always a reflection of what we have coming this way. And, you know, we've been saying this for the last, last 3 or 4 weeks now. You know, COVID-19 is here, but wait a minute, 21 is over there. And then we talked about also what's happening in India with not only the Delta variant, but also the black fungus and the white fungus. And those are the reactions that people are having, the post effects of having COVID-19. So we got to really be mindful that are we taking these masks off too fast, that we're wide open, Big B? You know, are we doing this thing a little bit too fast? And this is why we always say you got to get, you know, just stay on point. Don't get too loose, y'all, you know, because what's happening is it's not shaking out yet. You know, you have to still be on top of your game when it comes to your water, you know, staying on top of your same thing you were doing when this thing first hit. You need to stay on top of it. You know, don't let up, because when you start seeing things open up and people saying, well, man, they say you don't have to wear a mask. Well, I'm good. You know, people are still saying, I'm still not quite sure, Big B. Even when you go in stores, you know, you might still have the mask on and you don't even realize you're like, oh, man, I keep the mask on. I feel funny if I don't have the mask. Yeah. So, keep your eyes, family. We want to stay on top of that and make sure that we are keeping our immune system and we're going to keep our eye on this situation here, because this is something that's really it's hot off the press, man. It's hot off the press. All right. Listen, Big B, we got to take a quick break. We're going to come back as callers are lining up, and we're going to go into some other things that are happening around the world. And with that, we'll just dive in and start taking some calls. How about that? How about that, buddy? All right. This is Dr. Paul, Bill 1L Morgan, The Green Hour, and we'll be right back.
This is not a fad for us.
We will not resume our regular programming when things die down. We're not black to help our bottom line or because it's politically correct. We're not joining a fight. This has been our fight, our message, our people. Black lives have always mattered here. We are
undeniably,
indefatigably, unapologetically, permanently Black Talk Media.
WURD.
Brought to you by Comcast and supported by the Knight Lenfest Local News Transformation Fund. Tune in to Save Space, hosted by Sincerely Sarita, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. for The Plug. Updates and the latest discussion with black entrepreneurs.
Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center, 5925 North Broad Street. Open Monday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This week's special, all shungite bracelets, loose stones, pyramids, and spheres. All Himalayan salt lamps, cell phone diodes, and that neutralize radiation. All for your discount this week. But hey, you got to say the key word. I listen to WURD and the Dr. Paul Show or the Green Hour, and you got it. Also, they have yours truly, Dr. Paul's Green Drink, Colon Cleanse, and Eliminator, and Dr. Willard's Water. Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center, 215-549-4372, 215-549-4372.
More than joint replacement, it's total joint care. Einstein Orthopedics offers minimally invasive, same-day procedures like anterior hip replacement and knee replacement surgery. Our board-certified surgeons and dedicated team will give you personalized care every step of the way. From your first appointment to surgery to post-procedure follow-up care, Einstein Orthopedics offers everything you need to get moving again. Visit einstein.edu/total joint to learn more.
This Black Music Month, as the city begins to reopen and we embrace the spirit of Juneteenth, WURD Radio celebrates Songs of Freedom.
Do you remember this song? Did you know that this soul classic was birthed right here in Philadelphia by the dynamic duo Gamble and Huff? The Sound of Philadelphia, aka TSOP, by MFSB, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, topped the Hot 100 Billboard charts for 2 weeks in a row, making it the first show theme ever to do so. The song was originally created for Don Cornelius' Soul Train, but its groove couldn't be contained within the television set. It gathered families together and became the soundtrack of the 70s in black households. This is a song of freedom. This is black music.
This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by Pico, powering communities. You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Black Talk Media.
And we are back. This is Dr. Paul and Bill 1L Morgan, and we are talking today about anything and everything going on in the world, Big B.
I know that's right, man. Because that's
hey,
what
man,
it's all about.
Delta. Delta is on the mind right now.
Yeah, man.
You know, what's happening with Delta, you know, and boy, I tell you, you know, if there's anything that you got to look at other places around the world and to make sure that, you know, that stuff is coming this way, man. You know, you start to say, wait a minute, maybe I need to, you know, pull back. All right, let's go to our lines. We got Reverend Joe Williams on the line. Reverend Joe?
Dr. Paul, good afternoon. Thanks to you and Judge Tom, your green stuff. It's got me feeling like a Superman.
Look out, man.
Listen,
that's what's up.
This is the good part about it. This Friday, June 11th, my wife and I will be celebrating our 60th wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations to you and your wife.
Thank you, Dr.
Awesome.
Paul.
Awesome. And Reverend Joe, man,
yes,
how old are you, by the way, Reverend Joe, if you don't mind speaking to the family? Woo! Did you say 87?
82.
82. Okay.
See?
I'm good for another 100,000 miles.
Yes.
I know that's right.
And Reverend Joe, you are to be applauded also. You know, you're taking the green drink. You say you're feeling good, man. Keep up the good work, man. You know, I always thank you so much because, you know, you gave me my first doctor bag,
Amen.
man.
Amen. Well, keep the faith down. Your faith will keep you.
That's right.
That's right. God bless you, brother. God bless you. All right. We have another caller. Is that C on line 2?
Hi, Dr. Paul. Hi,
Hi,
Dr.
C.
Bill.
How are you?
Hi. Could you please tell me, I have a friend who is going through menopause. She has a lump in her breast. Do you have any idea how she can get rid of it without surgery or?
Yeah. You dropped out. She dropped out.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Is there any way that she can get rid of it with vitamins, minerals, herbs, anything?
Yeah. See, whenever there's breast lumps, that's a direct sign. You know, we try to look at the lymphatic system, the blockage in the lymphatic system. Mm-hmm. So we don't rip, burn, or cut anything out. You know, even with that, detox is in order. You know, breast lumps, we have something that we always do with the women's group. We call it pumping. It's called the pumping. It's actually the moving of the lymphatic system. It's called a lymphatic massage, okay? So I would definitely say that's one thing you have to, you know, you can YouTube a lymphatic massage just to see the process or the purpose of how you would do that. Now, what you would do with that, with that point of moving the lymphatic system, that's also the sewer system of the body, remember?
Yes.
System. So right now, this is one I talk about a lot, where the sewer systems are backing up. People are not moving the lymphatic system. See, remember, like the first system, which is the heart, which pumps arteries and veins, the secondary circulatory system, the lymphatic system, does not have a pump. So it doesn't move. So it only moves when you move. So when we see cases where, you know, there's breast lumps or lumps anywhere in the body, or blockage or swelling in the ankles, or anything where there's excess fluid or just blockage, that has a lot to do with moving the system. So she's got to get exercise going also at the same time.
Dr. Fast, she does exercise. She eats a very good diet. She doesn't eat red meat. She eats a little poultry, a little kosher fish with fins and scales. The fatty fish that's recommended, she takes flax oil, extra virgin olive oil. She drinks the water that you recommend. She doesn't smoke or drink or do anything like that. And she's mystified why she has the lump.
Well, remember now, that's just part of the process. You can do all those things. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people that are coming through that are serious exercise, you know, that exercise every day but still have blockage issues. You can have what's called lymphatitis. Okay, lymphatitis is not saying she has that, but she would have to go through the process, because you can get an infection inside of your lymphatic system. And that can be, remember, it's removing bacteria, virus, fungus, parasites, all kind of things. So there could be an infestation also with parasites. So that's why parasites is probably one of the highest things right now, because of the industrialization of a lot of food. Now, here's another thing. A lot of folks that are very healthy oriented are catching this thing called chlorpyrifos. Okay, chlorpyrifos. Okay, chlorpyrifos is a spray that they're putting on the pesticide. They're putting on a lot of food, and some of the biggest and largest effects of it is that it blocks up the lymphatic system. So I would say to her, if she's come on in for an assessment, and we can go into what could possibly be the problem, but you got a checkpoint. A lot of times people think they're doing well, but they're really not. You got to watch the industrialization of the foods, and there could possibly be a level of an infection. So you got to check on all levels.
Please,
okay?
What is your office number?
Sure, 1-877 377 2854. Okay. And that's and you can call and make an appointment. You can always do a conference call, before the date that you may get scheduled for. We are taking people as we get them, and you got a lot of folks coming through. But I would tell you, definitely tell her that to be encouraged. We see a lot of people get the lymphatic system moving. There are herbs that move the system, but you got to do things spirit, mind, and body in that order.
Yes.
So she's got to be on point. And I say this to be I have to be very, very on point with what I'm saying to a lot of people who are highly into a lot of athletics and working out, because they'll think that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. But guess what? When they come in for an assessment, it could be one thing that's blocking her up. So you got to be very careful. So that's why we'll check it. And then she has the discipline. So she's got the discipline. She can get it done. She can get it done. Okay?
Thank you. Okay,
all right. Thank you so much, Sid.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We got Dolores on the line. Dolores?
Yes, Dr. Paul. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dolores. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, Dr. Paul. I was calling to ask you about colonics. Is it good to have colonics done?
Sure. Colonics are very good. And, colonics are used in a way of evacuating the system, purging the system when you have a lot of issues. Now, some people may have and experience problems with that. Because if you know with a colonic, it's based on, there's a lot of places you can get a colonic done, where it's injection we basically take water that's injected in the anus and it's rolling back into the intestine, so it now flushes the body's debris or bacteria and all those things. And what's happening, though, here's the problem some people have. It may purge good and bad bacteria. And that's where it causes a problem. Now, doesn't say it's not good that you can get it done, because I've seen some people go in and they looked in their face big, like they were definitely ill, but they came out. I would say if it's needed for immediate evacuation, I usually start to tell folks to do your cleanse. Get back into cleansing every change of seasons. That means if you eat, you must eliminate. And that means if you're eating 3 times a day, you got to be eliminating 3 times a day, but also cleansing every change of seasons. That's why we have the colon cleanse and the parasite formula. We try to get you moving there first. But if it's something that needs to be purged, yes, colonic does work. And that's something that if some situations, especially if they've been a meat eater, heavy meat eater all their life, that's going to cause a lot of problems. But I would say just check with your local person that does the colonics and talk to them. They usually will tell you.
Okay.
All right.
All
but
right,
yes,
then.
they are good.
Is it good to do a smoothie diet?
I would recommend just doing a 40-day detox first.
Yes.
I tell people to take their time. If they've never done a colonic before, if they've never done any of those things before, start with, getting the system used to purging, because usually it's going to take a while. See, you can't just do a regular colonic and it's over. It takes off layers. And if you're getting colonic done, it's usually going to take 1, 2, 3. It's going to take a few sessions to get that going. So it's always good to first start to get it moving by treating the intestinal line and the intestines, lower intestines and the large intestines to begin with. You got it? So you got to get the ball moving. You got to get the ball moving, right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, who we have here? Is that George? We got George on the line.
Dr. Paul, how you feel?
Brother George, how you doing?
Good. It's always good to hear you, and I'm glad you're doing well. Now, let me ask you a question. If you have a sciatic nerve, and it just pops up every now and then, what's the best thing for it? It's basically a sprained muscle or what? What is it?
What is that? I missed it.
Sciatic nerve, Dr. Paul.
Oh, sciatic nerve. Ooh, sciatic nerve. Yeah, sciatic nerve is something, brother. That's like somebody sticking a thorn in your side.
Yeah.
And you go right down the back of that leg. Woo! Man, let me tell you, brother. That's something that, here's what I would do, George. First, you got to make sure you don't have a structural issue. Got it? Structural issue would mean on that lower lumbar, because that's really where it's happening, right on that lower lumbar, usually between the L, either L4, L5.
Yes.
That's actually pinching that nerve, touch that nerve, where you have contraction, which means bone touching nerve, cuts that signal oxygen and nutrients to that nerve, starts to cause inflammation. So now that nerve comes off, spins off the spine, goes through the hip bone and down the back of that leg. So now you're down the leg. He said, yes, Lord.
Been there, George. So you're not by yourself, buddy.
George, I'm telling you, a lot of people been in there. It happens. So go ahead.
I was using, you had said about the Dr. Till's Epsom salt, whatever it was, about a year or two ago. And I used that worked. But it's like, and then I went to a chiropractor, and the first, when it first happened, I was in so much pain, I was in there screaming. The man said he never heard anybody in there scream. But I went there for like every 2 days for like a month. He straightened my back, everything, and I just kept soaking. But I'm just trying to figure out why, out of all the clear blue, I could be walking somewhere and all of a sudden it just hits like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Gone, then it'll be gone, then it comes back, and I'm just saying, well, let me ask Dr. Paul how you get rid of this,
Yeah, and also I want to say one other thing. You got to make sure, remember the one thing that holds the spine in place is the muscles. And it tends to be that we have weak back muscles. That's what makes it fall, and you got the contraction issue. Yeah, you could have been in an accident, could have been in a fall, could have been a lot of different things, and there's trauma that's in the back. That's why whenever you want to if you've been in a car accident, it's always take about 9 months for recovery, because they're trying to say, wait a minute, we got to retrain these muscles to let go, because those muscles have a muscle memory, and they remember, the trauma of the fall or whatever had happened. You could have just been picking out the trash, and you just moved it one way, and it was like, and then next thing you know, what is going on? So here's what I would do. Make sure you're structurally sound. That means no contraction. contraction, right? You went to the chiropractor. He checked you out. But also, I would check to make sure you don't have a bulging disc. Got it? Because bulging disc can also have a problem there also. Right in that area.
Get an X-ray, you get an MIR.
Yep, that is correct. And then what happens is there's one more thing there, George. When you turn left to right, when you're just turning, like if you're watching on salon, you see Big B turning right now.
That's right.
Just like that. That. There's a little pocket in that area of the disc that's filled with water. But in most cases, people are seriously dehydrated, and that dehydrates that area right there where you spin from left to right. So make sure your water's right. Got it? I'm thinking that you got your water.
You're saying go back to drinking 2 to 3 quarts of water a day.
Whatever is half your body weight. Whatever your half your body weight is. What's your weight right now?
About 225, something like that.
225? Something
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're 225, your maximum number is 112 ounces. 112 and a half ounces. Got it? That's your magic number. Write that down. That's your magic number. 112 ounces. Now divide that by 16.9. That's one bottle. So that means you're about 6.5 bottles a day.
Okay.
That's your number, 6.5 bottles. That's where you are. See, that makes a big difference. When you got back problems, a lot of that, believe it or not, comes from dehydration. So,
but Doc, it's never my back. It's just my hip. I mean, I pretty much know where it came from. I was lifting something, and it just I knew right then because it was like a pain in it, and it never left. And I went to the doctor, and they say, well, it could be this or that. And then I heard you talking on the show, and I said, oh, that's what it is, the sciatic nerve.
Well, could now remember now. When they said, remember, if you're saying the sciatic nerve, it could be that goes down and travels down the back of the leg to the feet. Now, the hip can be something totally different. The hip can be out of alignment too. You can have a hip slightly out of alignment also. Plus, if you're in a state of too much acidosis, that means your body's getting too much of these, some kind of refined sugar, refined salt, or something, or you're resonating in the state of too much acid or acidosis, it's going to go after the places where you can get the calcium the most, which is your hip. That's why so many people are getting hip surgeries. Has everything to do more so with acidosis versus, them getting a hip replacement. But they're never going to tell you that. Instead of staying off the certain food or testing your pH, I would do that first. So test your pH. You know how to test your pH, right?
Yeah, I got a strip. That.
You got the strips, right? pH testing strips. You can get them from any herbal store, and you know the formula, right? You know the formula.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it.
Let me give the family the formula because that's important for you, bro. This is where the troubleshooting. We start the troubleshoot right here.
Yes.
And this general information right now. We're not saying this is what your situation is, but I'm just giving you general information. Got it? So not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul. Got it? All right. So when you're doing your pH strips, you can go to the herbal stores we talk about, which is Pollock Herbs or Wayne Avenue Health Food Store. You can go to any of those stores, even Whole Foods.
You can
get the pH strip. Okay, got you. So get the strips. You got the strips. So you would take saliva. On the back of the strips, you would see a chart, and it's going to give you a range. And the range is from 6.5 to 7.5 is where you're trying to be. That's your goal. Got it? Because if you stay in that zone, 6.5 to 7.5, that's a balanced pH. Somewhere around in there. That's your total number. Got it? So you take your saliva. When it touches the urine and the saliva, it turns a color. Right. The strips are what's called hydrogen-treated strips. So that means it's an energy test. We're trying to see how much energy is there. When you see the color, match the color to the chart, write it down. So you got urine. You would write it like a math problem. Urine over saliva. Got it? So that would be like urine, draw a line underneath saliva. Got it? Like a division problem. So whatever you would do, you would take the first one. Say, for example, the first one was a 6.2. The urine was a 6.2. and the saliva was a 6-7. Got it? And just taking like a mock situation. Right? So if we took that, the formula, because we can never do 1, you always have to do 2. You can do always, it always has to be 2 because you have to get the holistic number.
Right.
So when you do this, and remember one last thing, do it always before a meal, never after a meal, always before a meal. So the rule for calculation is double the saliva number.
Okay.
Add to the urine.
Okay.
And divide by 3. Got it? So
Okay.
double the saliva, add to the urine, divide by 3. So in our mock situation right now, we had 6.2 urine over a 6.7 saliva, right? So in our mock situation, you would double the saliva, which was 6.7, plus 6.7, which is 13.4. Got it? 13.4, add to the urine. So you add that to the urine. So that would be plus 6.2. So that means that would be 19.6. Got it?
You're very good at math.
Last thing, divide that by 3. So that would be 6.5. So a person that had a urine of a 6.2 and a saliva of a 6.7, their total overall pH would be a 6.5. Now go to my website and you can download the chart. It's called the pH balance chart. Yes. And it'll show you where you are. So if you see that chart, we said where you want to start. You want to start at 6.5.
There you go. Yes,
sir. That person would be right on the borderline.
Okay.
Of good health.
Let me ask
Got
you
it?
one other question, Doc, before we go.
Okay.
Where do I go to get to see if it's a bulging disc? I know you got to get an MRA for that, but I'm saying in my hip, you say to get in line. You say it might be pushing against. Where would you go? What, you got to go to your doctor and get another X-ray on that too?
Yeah, you would have to. Well, with the bulging disc, you mean?
Right.
I couldn't hear you. Say that again.
I said, yeah, the bulging disc. To see is your disc. I mean, because I don't have no problems. I mean, not as I know of with my back or my disc.
Yeah. You always want to. Right. But you always want big. You're rattling over there. I can't hear.
Okay, sorry about that.
So what you want to do is you want to make sure you are structurally sound first. Got it? So make sure when you check with your chiropractor, that's one. Number 2, if you're structurally sound now, and then he says no, you're in perfect alignment, you're good to go. Then the next move will be, okay, now if there's still problems, you got to go back and start to look for the bulging disc. That's what I would look for. But at the same time, you got to start building your back. You got to start building that back muscle. Back muscles like, small squats, military press, laying flat on the back. There's a lot of moves that you can do to help strengthen lower back. Also, side sleepers tends to be people who have lower problems like that. Are you a side sleeper, by the way?
Yeah, but I keep a pillow between my legs, a small pillow.
All right, there you go. There you go.
That's right. So keep the pillow between the legs because you got to raise the hip because the hip drops, the spine drops at the tail. So just basically, that's just like a checkpoint. That's the best you can do, and just move accordingly, okay?
You do better than the doctor. I go there. They rate my insurance.
Oh man, I know.
Yeah.
But
be encouraged.
You say. That's why I listen to your show every time you're on. I'm listening. I always learn something. Plus, you help a lot of people. Every time you say something, I go take it to my seniors. Because I'm responsible for like 6 senior homes, and I'm the only one they have. So I make sure that I take care of them, and
that's great.
You ever told me, I tell them and they do it, and, they healthy. They get around. They're in the, like, late 80s. One is, like, 94, 95. Miss Mary, she's 95.
Yeah, there you go.
She goes to the Reading terminal before COVID. She would get on the bus and go there every day.
That's right. That's right.
You can't be going down there like that. She said, I'm okay. I said, okay.
Yeah.
She leave out at, like, 9 or 10 o'clock, come back like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. You be like, really? Good,
Well, what? You know what it starts with? It starts with a game plan. It's almost like a mystery. You have to figure out what is causing the problem, and you start from the base. The base would be the foundation to make sure there's no structural issue.
Yes,
and then from the structural issue, once you've eliminated that, then you can move forward in other areas and say, well, wait a minute.
There you go.
Now, if I'm still having this, I know that there's you know, I'm structurally sound. I don't have a bulging disc, and then this looks kind of giving you a mock situation. And then you say, well, wait a minute. If those are still going on, and I had that corrected, and I'm still having problem, it's got to be something you're eating because you're causing inflammation in that area. That's how we check this thing down. Start structurally though. Okay.
Well, everything you ever told me is true and it works. You know, and you know what I'm really proud of is that people don't know how far URD go, you know, and people don't really respect the station the way they should, you know. They just take it for granted. But you have just as, and I tell people because my neighborhood was pretty much African-American. Now it's like only maybe out of 80-something people, it's maybe only like maybe 10 African-Americans left. So they listen to this station. And, you know, especially those millennials and all that, they listen to this health part of you when you're talking. I mean, it's like some of them have it on their porch. I'm like, dang, they listen to URD? You'd be surprised. And I tell people, don't take the station for granted. You know,
that's right.
That's right.
That's right. Don't waste it with foolishness, you know, kissing up. Get to your point. Stop kissing up. If it's not something significant, you know, stop wasting time because,
that's right.
You know,
that's right.
Respect the station. You know,
well,
have a good one, and I appreciate y'all, and y'all do a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, George. All right, have a good one, man. Thank you so much, and I wish the best for you, okay? All right. Hey, Big B, that was a great call because you know what? That's a perfect way that we look and see how the checkpoints, you got to sort of go from, you know, from tearing down, so you got to back it up. And then when you start to now look at this, that's why I tell folks, you know what? You know, WRD, this is the greatest station. You know, I always say, this is the greatest station in the world. You know, I always say that, you know, because we get a chance to break things down like this and people can hear real conversation and what it really means to people who really need results. You know, people are tired of going around bouncing between doctors and you know, and it's all about insurance and people. And then you have to think about the different personalities that you have to deal with because some of them either are for you or don't care about you. And that's why, you know, the biggest thing that I always talk about is compassion. You know, the compassion for your people. You know, you got to have compassion. If you don't have compassion for people when they walk in your office, you need to get out the business.
Well, how about that? You know?
You know, it's like, what are you doing? You know.
And you know what, Dr. Paul, let me take that one step further. George said, what he's doing, he's taking information, he's going to the what? To help the older folk in the nursing home.
That's right.
That's the other part, that compassion for other people. You know what? Right. One of the primary reasons, guys, that we were allowed to be born was to do what? Assist somebody else in this way, brother. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
That's right. Compassion and love for your fellow brother and sister.
Yes.
That's right. No better place to get it. That's why we say when you get on this, when you get the listener, you better get your pen and pad. Don't think that you're going to remember this because you're going to say, oh, I won't remember it. Then the first thing I get a phone call right after we get on, what was that herb you said? All right. But I think that, you know, people get a perspective of what we're talking about today. Right. And that's why we call it Sunday's Testimony Sunday, that you can really get into it. So I think all those that are calling in, because Mike just gave me the 4 minutes.
Not again.
Yes, he did.
We just got here, man.
Yes, he did. Mike just...
Sorry about that. That just got
Boy, that's one rack in the day right there, Big B.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Yes, and we have to go because, you know, it seems like this moves too fast for us. But I want to thank all those callers that called in. Happy birthday, Big B. You know, thank you, man. You know, I'm so proud of you, man. And happy 60th anniversary to Reverend Joe and all the callers that called in, whatever the situation is. We try to get to the root of the problem. You know, hopefully that you can find some alter, or even if you get your mind right, to what direction you're going to get. So we want to thank all those that called in. And hey, if you want to get a hold of me and get a one-on-one assessment, you can call me directly, 215-779-7355. That's 215-779-7355. Or you can call me on our appointment line, 1-877-377-2854. That's again, 1-877-377-2854. Or go to my website, www.drpaulherbs.com. Join us, sign up, and subscribe to our family tree Wednesday evenings. Boy, we have a ball on Wednesdays.
I know that's right.
I tell you, we just cut loose on Wednesday, and that's going to be 7 o'clock every Wednesday evening. Join us. All you got to do is subscribe, put your name and your email. You'll get a personal invitation. All right. I want to thank our producers, Michael Ledbetter, Laura Lomax, our president CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, and the entire Lomax family. Hey, Miss Beverly Lomax, we love you. And I want to thank you, Big B, and Mike Moore over there. All right, and thank you, Big B, and happy birthday to you again, my brother. Oh, I'm so proud of you, man. You're always full of surprise, man. All right, family. Be always forever encouraged. And remember, if you're breathing,
you got a shot.
God bless you.
87. That's coming soon. But right now, set it down. Set it down.
Bless you. All right.
Yo, man.